Odusola is an award-winning intuitive author, a respected spiritual leader, teacher and life coach who specialises in short films, personal growth, divine music, spiritual enlightenment, coaching, innovative online courses, spiritual healing products and services for over 2 decades. That's a lot of stuff. And she's with us here now. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. And you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Now, you've got a new single called Maya on the soundtrack to your short film, I Am Vision Creator Part 1, and I've heard you talk before that your book has included the principles to retrain the conscious mind. So at what moment in your life did you decide that you wanted to include healing frequencies within your music?
I've often felt a strong calling to be of service to humankind in some capacity, assisting individuals evolve into their authentic selves to experience more inner peace, God's unconditional love and oneness, spiritual ascension in this life and lifetimes. Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, right?
Yeah.
I was guided to create the I Am Vision Creator system and short film, along with healing frequencies and conscious music to demonstrate that calling and truth. Now, as far as the musical concepts, I decided to include mind training healing frequencies in my work within the last 2 years, and they are designed to program and heal subconscious blocks, awaken the consciousness, connect on an inner level, and have fun all at the same time.
Yeah. For sure. And I like the film cover you've got as well. It's really unique, actually. And it looks like it might have some sort of subliminal message on the cover as well. It's like a kind of vibration that I feel when I look at it. Are you able to share with some of the listeners the kind of symbolic meaning of the song lyrics in the song, Maya?
Sure. Thank you. That is the intent for my film cover. And yes, it does have messages that only your higher self can understand, as well as healing codes. Your subconscious mind is communicating with it right now.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the song Maya goes, I did not plan to do that song. I just did it out of nowhere, off the top of my head, to be honest. Then I thought to myself that I will add I'll just go ahead and add it to my short film with all its imperfections and perfections. Spirit uses music to deliver messages all the time.
Yeah.
So now I guess I'll go ahead and break down the meaning to some of the lyrics. Let go, that means letting go of attachments to the ego thought system that are keeping you stuck right now, i.e. the wages of sin. Let go means unifying in oneness with the I Am impersonal, i.e. God, mind, and all creation. Here we go means we have made a choice to unify with Source of this timeless, formless moment of oneness that is God's unconditional love and truth, and so transcending to the Holy Kingdom. Now, if you look closely at my I Am Vision Creator cover, it reveals where such a holy state exists. That ain't who you are. I will discuss that later in this interview. Maya, watch the short film to learn more about that particular meaning.
Yeah. And when you first got started with all this, you were really quite young, so I take it that you weren't aware of the title and term of the readings at that time.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. It's been 2 decades since you first wrote your spiritual self-help book, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And a thing that I noticed about your works is that people of different faiths that attend different organisations and institutions apply your works and have achieved great results for such a big range of people. What would you say is the kind of reason that certain people that attend religious organisations might have so much resistance towards spiritual principles? And is there a way you can explain this using your AM Vision Creator diagram?
Sure. I will be more than happy to, share this with everyone. But first and foremost, I would like to let's do a quick exercise with the listeners, if you don't mind.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so we'll do a a quick exercise together. And please make sure you wash and cleanse your hands and then dry them first. And this exercise, it should be done preferably in the privacy of your own personal space. Okay, so what I would like for everyone to do is firmly hold your hands together and rub your hands together until you feel a change in temperature. Just keep rubbing them together until you feel a change in temperature. And if you're actually on my live post right now, I want you to post what you felt and what you saw. If you are not on my live, just go ahead and write down what you felt and what you saw. So what you're doing, you're actually rubbing your hands together until you feel a change in temperature. Now, so I'll give everybody a moment to go ahead and do this exercise. Okay. Looks like we're getting some people that are posting to my live right now. And if you're not, just go ahead and write down what you felt and what you saw. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next exercise. And we'll do another quick exercise. For this, please refrain from doing it if you are sick. What I would like for you to do is breathe in, inhale through your nose, and then breathe out, exhale out of your mouth slowly. I want you to lightly release your breath by blowing on the back side of your hand. The back side of the hand is thus the opposite side from the palm. And post on my live right now what you felt and what you saw. And so what I'll do, I'll check it in a moment and share it with the listeners. And if you're just now joining in on this interview, what we're just doing a quick exercise. The first one being you're rubbing your hands together until you feel a change in temperature. And the second exercise being you're just going to inhale, exhale, release on the back side of your hand. And for both exercises, you're writing down what you felt and what you saw. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment to read some of the live posts that I'm seeing here from the first exercise. So someone said they felt tingles in their hands. Someone posted that they didn't see anything. Another person, looks like said they felt warmth. I see here, I felt heat. Another post said they didn't see anything. And for the second exercise, someone posted they felt coolness. I see they said they felt relaxed from another post. Another live post says they felt coolness and warmth. And mostly, it looks like everyone is saying that they didn't see anything. Okay, so thank you all for participating and doing this exercise with me. You just witnessed and experienced that the four elements are within and all around us. The mechanical energy of moving your hands together transform into both sound energy and heat energy. That is why a lot of you said you felt warmth. So on the second exercise, a lot of people said that they didn't see anything. And the reason being is that the air looks transparent. If you put enough dust in the air, the particles of dust absorb the light and the air stops being transparent. However, a lot of people said they felt it. Air looks invisible because it sends very little colors to the eyes. These forces represent fire. This element can give you warmth and enable life. You witnessed this today by rubbing your hands together. This element is related to the sun. Water is the cleansing power. You cleanse your hands during this exercise. Now, up to 60% of the human body is water. Fresh water stands for life and well-being. The weather related to this element is rain and snow. The earth element has cleansing power. It symbolizes creativity, physical abundance, solidity. Whether you're sitting or standing today, you may feel the solidity of the ground underneath you. Air is associated with the breath of life and communication, perception, and more. We did the breath exercise today, and you experienced the element of the air within you. A lot of you said that you couldn't see it, but you felt it. The weather that's associated with this element is wind. Now, the concept of the creator, I'm going back to your question, is formless or the supreme being. The timeless and formless reality is in the soul of every creature, every human being. But how will we know if it is really oneness? Now, when your mind is still, you will feel a certain energy that moves through you. I noticed a lot of people said that they felt something during the exercise. Again, you will feel a certain energy that moves through you. And this realization is called the source energy's awareness, but not all people are aware of it. Now, to answer your question about what you asked me, that a lot of people from different faiths, they tend to attend to apply my works, and they're from different organizations. Basically, we tend to, and you asked me, I believe the other question you asked me, why do some people have resistance towards spiritual principles? Is there a way that I can explain this using my I Am Vision Creator diagram? So I'll go ahead and explain that to you all right now. Basically, we tend to use externals, i.e. congregationals, as selfhood as a result of an identity. To employ, you have done this to satisfy your ego self-belief, which is the ego level 1B on my I Am Vision Creator diagram. Here you see everything in judgment. Humankind then projects various perceptions onto God through different attachments, such as religion, etc., which is dualistic thinking on my diagram. Another reason is fear of the unknown, which is shown in the gray on my chart. The ego game is to keep you separate, different, and unequal to everyone. Attachments of congregationals is just another trickery way of the ego. I'm not saying do not attend. I'm saying detach your thoughts, i.e. limited beliefs from it, in order to transcend the ego. A lot of different faiths use the term getting your soul saved. What I'm providing is a roadmap for you to have your own direct experience with the divine mind, i.e. Holy Kingdom, the holy state on my diagram, so that you can create spiritual ascension. However, divine mind consciousness only takes place when the soul is ready to experience it. For example, in the words of the Christ mind that was in Jesus, my kingdom is not of this world. Universal consciousness or divine mind existed in the mind of Jesus, as well as Muhammad, Krishna, and many others. Its manifestation expressed itself at an exceptional level in the Christ mind, i.e., let this mind be in you. Basically, your faith, your age, or even how you define yourself is irrelevant. The gods of different religions are simply the perceptions or forms of one supreme being. It's only the name that changes.
Yeah. In one part of your film, I Am Vision Creator Part 1, the ego, you talked about the ego, mind, and people go into this mind trying to manipulate it to create through different escapism. Can you tell us about that using the steps from your I Am Vision Creator diagram as well?
Sure. I have shown here on the I Am Vision Creator diagram chart 1, you have been identifying yourself to your attachment. So basically, every time we see and we operate from this mindset, we see the world in judgment as right, wrong, good or bad, so on and so forth. As you can see on the diagram, there is no present moment here, and you fear the unknown. You attach yourself to the ego's limited belief system because you were conditioned from birth for people to think in a logical way and a rational way. Therefore, you cannot go to this mind trying to manipulate it to create. Here, Christ consciousness or becoming one with your higher self is difficult to attain because you're trying to do it from the low level 1B on my diagram, and it does not exist here. As you can see, this is the mask of individual personality that blocks you from having your direct inner experience with the divine mind. It is because of our ego that we get the perception of separation from God, the universe, and other beings. Also, this separation is the root cause of all suffering in the world. What if we were living in a gigantic hologram? I'm about to tell you something that it may be hard for you or some to wrap your mind around. However, it is the truth, and I come to give you what is true. You are not your body. Most souls often forget their perfect and divine identities. You are perfection within, a co-creator. To help you unleash the divine light within you, there are some valuable things that you will discover about yourself in my short film, I Am Vision Creator Part 1, The Ego, and Maya, the Illusionary World of Self. Spiritual energy is not limited by time and space.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you also mentioned in this same I Am Vision Creator film that a lot of people are applying lesser laws that are mainstream, and that's one of the reasons why people are still stuck waiting for something to happen and it doesn't. it only happens for some. So can you touch on that in your law of your system and why it works and what people need to start doing?
Hey, yeah, sure. I will be more than happy to share that with you. One of the laws in my system is the law of extent, which operates from truth. The supreme being is the creator.
Yeah.
We are an extension of that force. Again, we are co-creators, and you're like luminosities of light shining outwardly. Here you can then tap into the law of grace, which resolves karma and creates miracles. Why it works is because it extends from your inner self and not from the low level 1B on the ego map on my chart. You cannot look for an external solution for internal problems. Know what path you should be following, truth. Follow your destiny to avoid pitfalls. Use truth while on your journey, but stay in the present in the process. Most of the time, people are never in the present. They're thinking about what happened last week or what they're going to be doing tomorrow or later today and so forth. This is the exact same thing I was telling people in 2010. And this mind of judgment and dualistic thinking, it projects everything onto the world. And becoming one with your higher self is difficult to attain here. Vibrating from the law of extent, which activates the law of grace, will enable your will to start circulating, and thus things will begin to show up in your waking life, which is the physical plane on my I Am Vision Creator Oracle. And to answer your next question, what people need to start doing is spending some quiet moments to meditate and pray is a good way to start the process of being spiritually connected. Spending moments interacting with like-minded people. This is not only healthy, but also builds relationships that can give positive mental and physical reinforcement. Having alone time is another particular important factor to working towards spiritual connection. Taking this present to reboot and reflect is beneficial to both mind and body. Set aside time to learn new things. Stop wishing for something to happen. If you really desire something, turn that desire into passion and get a hold of what you want. Have you felt like you should maybe move to a different city? What about starting a business? You may have had the feeling of leaving that toxic situation, maybe change your career. Perhaps you have felt you should bid on a new job, invest into your talent, work with kids, change your eating habits, maybe let go of the temptation of anger or whatever it may be. What's stopping you? Turning your desires into passion means recognizing that resistance will continue to come up, but at every moment we can choose to move ahead, even when things feel rigid. It is okay to start small because a little gain in each moment is better than none. When you love what you do, you will passionately do your work and everything else will fall into place. Growth, knowledge, and wisdom never ends for those people who have the passion to continue learning. Make it a habit to be thankful for everything that you have, great or small, and let your gratitude be heard so that blessings can actually overflow for you.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That's a really powerful message, actually. And it's said that people following your system, as well as your digital healing codes, it looks like it works 100% of the time, which is outstanding, really. And I see that people have reported a change in their well-being. And one of your clients actually said that it brought them more money. They said overcame depression and made so many good testimonials. Is there a way that our listeners can receive access to your healing codes? Because I saw in your film that people might be under the same type of mind control that could cause a lot of problems and maybe even lives.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sure, I was guided by Spirit about 4 years ago to share with mankind that the enemy adversary in this life will attack you in your mind. With that said, some people will be attacked by lower entities, and i.e., some people call them demons or whatever. Basically, when you actively invest your attention into thoughts, they begin to seem real.
Yeah.
The subconscious mind does not know what is real and what is imagined. So when we engage with specific thoughts, we begin to feel the emotions that were triggered by these thoughts. We enter a new emotional state, which then influences how we act. For example, if you often engage with the thought that you're worthless and feed more attention to it, you will start to feel down, worthless, discouraged, and perhaps even depressed. Now you're operating off a lower vibrational energy, which in return makes easy access for lower entities to enter. Now, these thoughts crystallize and take form in your waking life. They show up as several different imbalances, i.e., depression, sickness, failures, mental illnesses, etc. Now, a lot of people will begin to have thoughts that are not even theirs nowadays. This is very, very serious, guys. So my digital killer you were referring to is called Mandela Digital Killer and is in my sacred short film, which is divinely attuned with powerful vibrational subliminal binary codes that you can use anytime to reprogram and encode your subconscious mind.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So how long would you recommend people watch the Mandala Digital Healing Codes? Because the review I read of the person actually achieving financial success said it works instantly for them.
Yeah, and to answer that question, okay, so they said it worked instantly for them. Well, yes, it could happen instantly once applied. We are in a new age, and now so a lot of people will be creating more money digitally. Some will subconsciously begin to have more powerful abilities. A lot of you will begin to show interest in spiritual concepts of truth like these. I say unto you, protect your mind and protect your DNA. It is very, very serious and crucial to do that now. And to answer your question, I recommend watching and listening to the Mandela Digital Code for at least a minimum of 90 days because it takes an average of 66 days to reprogram the subconscious mind with intentional effort utilizing mind programming tools. Your higher self is already aware of this. This will help to program and release subconscious thoughts.
Yeah. And in a news article that you are said to have foreseen events of the pandemic, like UFOs, weather conditions, losses, among other world-changing events, in which you reveal these valuable insights in your short film. I also saw one of your prostheses, an image of a hotel with a red X, and the storm background with hurricane symbols, and I'm looking at your forecast before this happened, and I'm looking at the actual event of it happening later, and it looks like there was a repeated death due to the hurricane. With your gift as a prosthetist, I think that it's a life-saving talent. Do you feel like these different forecasts can warn and help people?
Absolutely. I do feel like these different forecasts can warn and possibly help people. The red X on the hotel hurricane warning was my way of telling people to stay away. With that said, everyone has a begin date and an end date. That is, some people have karmic debt. However, some have transitioned over prematurely due to being out of alignment with their destiny. So that is why it's good to stay in alignment with your destiny, know what path you should be following, and stay informed about what's going on. Awaken to your higher self. Listen and follow spiritual leaders, elders, and prophets that are operating in truth. Those who are willing to assist you on your path to evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, where can our listeners join your online community and keep up with all your latest updates?
That will be odubaba.com. That's ODUBABA.com.
Okay. And if you see prophecy's forecast that could possibly prevent a serious matter, pass it on to your family and friends and loved ones, and keep up with your latest updates. And as promised at the beginning of the interview, here are some resources for what's going on around the world today and where you can find them. Number 1, watch the film I Am Vision Creator Part 1, The Ego. Number 2, the Mandela Digital Healing Codes is given to you as a bonus feature. And solution 3, the I Am Master Healer Superfood formula releasing soon, and it supports your immune system, protects your DNA and overall well-being. Bulk orders are available now, including healing codes. And number 4 is Odusola's online products and spiritual services at udubaba.com. And lastly, can you share with us any important insights that you can leave with the listeners today?
Yeah, sure. I'll be more than happy to. It's good to acknowledge the inner child, you know. I've had my ups and downs. I've been through trials and tribulations. I've had different life experiences from the time I wrote my first book over 2 decades ago. I made the choice to take a look at some things within myself, do some shadow work, you know, heal from your past hurt. Present karma is an effect of your past life. You acquire the opportunity to balance the karma in your life. Karma shouldn't be seen as something negative or positive. Instead, it should be viewed as a window to clear out the negative imprints that might have accumulated in your past. You are given the capacity to create a positive karma, which will be connected to your current life and carried on to the next. Karma is said to be intertwined with reincarnations. Take a holistic approach. Get to the root cause. Let go of different temptation attachments such as anger, sadness, addictions, feeling like you're not good enough, negative environmental influences, abuse, being vindictive, lust, toxic relationships, or whatever temptations you struggle with. As a result, putting your attention on what you don't want shows up in your experience. You lose focus on what's behind the form. You end up losing sight of your objective and become more and more attached to this mind, which is the ego thought system on the I Am Vision Creator life map. Work on any character flaws you may be attached to, such as anger, dishonesty, lying, or behaving in a deceitful manner, usually to take advantage of others, gossipy, inclined to spread rumors, laziness, unwilling to work, prideful, oneself, being want to be right or wrong, doubtful, envious, wanting to pose what another may have, greedy, selfishness, blaming self and others, being judgmental of others, being neglectful of personal obligations, often engaging in self-pity, victimization, defensiveness, or whatever character flaws you may have. Escapism enables you to hide from your character flaws. Take ownership for everything on level 1B on the I Am Vision Creator diagram. You are accountable for conditions in your life. Realizing this as truth brings great release from the fears of the unknown and a realization that your life is the outcome of your thoughts and actions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd just like to ask you one last question before we leave you. Why do you feel the great masters come here to live on Earth? Masters even like yourself.
They come to help us realize individually that what we're seeking is within.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been great talking to you.
And thank you for having me on the show.